technical background. So today, the agenda of the session, let us discuss what exactly is a data warehouse, what are all the different ETL tools, what are all the different business intelligence tools. Among all the business intelligence tools, why Tableau was standing in the first position, and how about the job market, and also let me show you, the tool, and I to give you a basic idea on the tool, and I'll answer all of your questions. Yep. So do you have any BA experience, or you are totally new to the business intelligence? Mitish, Suresh, Max, Paul, you have any BA experience, or you are totally new to IT? So how about you, Mitish? Fine. So let me just give you an overall view. For others, it might help us out. Okay. Let us see. Generally, what is data warehouse? Why data warehouse? What are all ETL and what are all different business intelligence tools? So generally, you may aware, warehouse is nothing but, in a simple way, godown is nothing but, the other name of a warehouse is a godown. If I store something, rice in a warehouse, that is called as a rice warehouse. So if I, store any goods, that related warehouse it would be. If I capture a data in a warehouse, that is what called as a data warehouse. If you see each and every organization, day-to-day transactional data was captured. So what is the purpose of capturing all the historical data or transactional data? So if I can capture all the data, historical as well as the transactional, everything, if I capture all the data, so with that data, I can analyze my business. With the help of reporting, I can analyze my data and analyze my business. So based on the analysis, if I make a decision, which will help me to improve the business. So that's the reason each and every organization will capture all the data. And to make unstructured to structured, we use ETL tools. And after structured data, then we use business intelligence tools to view or to analyze the data in the form of dashboards or stories, the different ways we can do that. So let me just give you an example which will help you to understand in a better way. Let us assume that I started a business in south region of a country. So the company name was ABC. Any business, it has to deal with a product. So here it is dealing with a product, FMCG, fast moving consumer goods. Fast moving consumer goods means daily usage products, like toothpaste, brush, and all this comes under FMCG goods. Like in the Walmart, we can get the products, right? So all the daily usage products is nothing but FMCG product. So the company name was ABC. It was in the south region, and it deals with FMCG. And to capture all the business transactions, so we need a data source. So here I'm using database as my data source, and Oracle is my source. I'm using Oracle database as my data source to capture all the transactions, all the data. So the business was damn good in the south region as a higher management. So the business was damn good in the south region. Higher management decided to start up the business in other regions as well. Let us say in the north, east, and west regions of the country. Let us assume that. So north, east, and west regions as well. North, rather than starting up a new organization, if I can, acquire an existing business, it would be easier to capture or to, start up my business. So that's the reason in other regions, north, east, and west regions. So what I've done is I have, acquired a business. So they also deals with FMCG products. All these three business also deal with FMCG products. And here, if you see in the north region, I'm using databases MySQL, And here in the West region, I'm using this as a Sybase, and here I'm using Excel as my source because they're all existing business which has been acquired by this starting company. So these are all existing, so they have a different sources. Now my business is across the country with the different sources, like here Oracle, here MySQL, Sybase, Excel. So the business was across the country. As a higher management, I need to understand, about my business. So let us say I want to know top 10 product sales was good and 10 product sales was poor. If I know that, I can improve my business in different levels based on my marketing strategies. So, but if I need that information, how should I get that data? Because they're all different sources here: Oracle, MySQL, Excel, and Sybase. What are all the various options we have now? What we can do is, what are all the various options to get the data? Means I need to, they are all different sources. First thing is I need to integrate these four data sources or databases into a single system. Like integrating these four systems means like changing into a single database, like migrating MySQL, Sybase, Excel into Oracle, or these three into MySQL, or these three into Sybase or Excel. So like changing, migrating into one single source system. So then if the entire data was in one database, it would be more comfortable to extract data and to analyze the data. So to make into a single database system, I need to, let us say if I plan to migrate these three into Oracle, means I need to purchase licenses and the existing system will change. It is a time taking, cost wise high. So implementation time, cost, everything was high. So we have an option. If I don't have any option, then obviously I go with the same thing. So now we have an option. What we can do is four different databases. Yeah. Let us assume that the four source systems are available here: Oracle, Excel, MySQL, Sybase. I can extract the sources or the data from the four systems into a transformation area. Here I'll apply some business logic. So what kind of business logic? Let us say I have a customer table here. Here also customer gender was, here I'm using M and F. Here it is MAFE, 01, male and female. So different naming conventions. The data was unstructured. So what I can do is I can write a logic here to make whatever it might be customer gender, it is MEF01, MAF, we convert that into male and female, the data. So then after applying the logic, the entire data would be loaded into the data warehouse. The data warehouse is also again a source. So these are all transactional sources, like OLTP systems. We call this as a OLTP systems, online transactional processing. Like day-to-day transactions will get captured into these systems. I will not disturb the existing system. After the data was captured or stored into these systems, based on my business requirement, it might be a daily or weekly or monthly or quarterly. I'll extract the entire data into the transformation area. So here I'll apply some business logic. Then I load the data into data warehouse. This process, like extraction, transformation, loading, to make unstructured to structured, and as well as from the different sources into a single thing. And if you see here, I'll have a single customer table. The entire data will be get loaded into this customer table here. So this, to make unstructured to structured, or from different sources to into a single place, we use this extraction, transformation, loading process. That is what called as an ETL process. So once if this ETL process is successfully done, the entire data is available in the data warehouse. Let us say if my business is 10 years old, my 10 years of data will be available in the data warehouse, not in the transactional system. So this is what called as OLAP, online analytical processing. If my business is 20 years, my 20 years of data is available in the data warehouse itself. For ETL, we use different tools to process this stuff. We have some tools available in the market. We have Informatica, we have DataStage, Abnitio, SSIS, different ETL tools we have. available in the market. Once if the data was loaded into data warehouse successfully, even this also might be a database. Even data warehouse also, I can go with the database. So let us say now, if I want to extract data from this data warehouse, two things. One, I can manually write some structured query language SQL. It can only understand SQL if it is a database. If I want to insert or if I want to retrieve data, it can only understand uh, the SQL, structured query language. So here I can write manually SQL query and I can also extract the data. It is cheaper, but companies are really not going with that manual written queries, even though it is cheaper. Even though if it is costlier, they are going with the business intelligence tools. Why they were going with the business intelligence tools? So the reason behind this is, if I go with the business intelligence tools, I can view my data in two-dimensional, three-dimensional dashboarding, scorecarding, analytics, different ways I can view my data. And security-wise, it plays a vital role. And accuracy-wise, a lot of benefits if I go with the business intelligence tool. So that's the reason, even though it is costly when compared to manual written queries, companies are only preferring business intelligence tools. We have a lot of tools available in the market, like if you see Cognos, Business Objects, OBI, MSBI. So different tools we have, MicroStrategy as well. A lot of tools available in the market. So Cognos is an IBM product, Business Objects SAP, OBI means Oracle, MSBI means Microsoft. So you can see the branded tools. Last 15 years plus, you can see this in the market. Last 6-7 years, you can see this in the market. A lot of reporting tools we have. So these are all the ETL tools. But recently, an evolution has been occurred in the market. If you see, so few tools came into the picture. They are like advanced BA plus VA tools, advanced business intelligence tools. Along with that, visual analytics features also is available with these tools. They are Tableau, ClickView, Spotlight. So these are all the different BA and VA tools. And among all these business intelligence tools, so why Tableau was standing in the first position in the Gartner review? What made Tableau different from other business intelligence tools? And a brief history here, you can see it has been started in 2003 by a student and professor. Slowly it has been day to day, year to year, you can see the YOY, and it has been now New York Stock Exchange listed. And YOY was 80 plus percentage growth rate year to year, if you notice. And the current version is also 10.3 was the latest version. And 7, 8, 9, 10 is the successful version. So now let us see why Tableau is or how it is different with other business intelligence tools. So why this is BA plus VA tool? And the first advantage is Tableau is an in-memory tool. What is this in-memory concept? So if you go with any of the business intelligence tools, if you see, first thing you need to understand, one important thing is all the business intelligence tools are three-tier architecture. I mean, they are all multi-tier architecture, but for the classification itself, they have been classified into three-tier architecture. So basically, three-tier means one is web layer will have web server, application layer will have application server, and data layer will have a database or our content store. Let us say if end user run a report in the web, all these are business intelligence tools are a web-based tools where users can access these reports from the web, from the internet. So if user run a report, so that will move to the web server, and web server to the application server to the content store, and again content store to the here, and get back, and here to here it will get back. So the web server, first if user run a report, the entire XML or the physical query, we can call that as a physical query, the report related physical query would be passed with the help of gateway from web server to the application server. So application server. So the entire physical query will be transferred from the web server to the application server. What happens in the application server? So it will convert physical query to SQL query, because database cannot understand any other language, right? Someone has to write the query. So here what happens, the application server will understand the physical query and it will convert that into the SQL query. Let us say if it is a Cognos means Cognos server, if it's a OBA means OBA server, MSBA means MSBA server. So the core application server. This is a web server. IAS or any other Tomcat, Apache server, we can use any of that stuff. And finally, content store, nothing but our database or content store, you can say simply. So after converting the entire physical query to SQL query, it will send back to the database. So here, based on the query, again, it will give the data, give back. So before sending data, it will authenticate, it will check whether the requested person is having authorization to view the data or not. So it will verify it. If he's having access, then it will be moved to the application server to the web server, and from web server to the end user. So this is what happens in any of the business intelligence tools, even though they are multi-tied, but for the classification purpose, we'll classify it into 3-tier architecture. So what about this Tableau? Same way here also, even Tableau is also a multi-tied architecture, but for classification purpose, it has been classified into same 3-tier architecture. But the only one difference here in Tableau was when user run a report for the first time, it is going to hit the source. Same thing happens, whatever happened here, all other tools. So the same thing here also. But after extracting the entire data into the web or into the Tableau server, so what happens here is it is not directly sharing the data to the user. So the entire data was storing in the Tableau server RAM. So after extracting the data, so here it directly sharing it to the end user. But what happens here in the Tableau after extracting the data? So the entire data was storing in the Tableau server RAM here, and from here it is sharing it to the end user. A copy was available in the RAM. You can understand if the RAM capacity, if the increase for a laptop, automatically the speed will get increased. If the entire data itself was in the RAM, you can calculate anything in the fly. So that is what the major advantage here. And also, even OBI also does the same thing. It also will have a copy. If the other user run the same report, it is not going to hit the database. It is going to hit the RAM and it is going to get the data. But what is difference between this and OBI means Tableau is having its own query language called a VigQL. So what does this VigQL do? Visualization query language. So in the front end, if user try to do some changes anything, the visualization query language will understand the user request and it is going to hit the RAM and it is going to change the render the data and images both. I have a copy of data and I can view the same thing in the bar and the other user can view in the line chat as well as. So how is it possible means with the help of visualization query language, it can understand the request, whatever I click or select. So that will hit the RAM and it will render both the data and images here. So that is what this is what an in-memory concept. So this is a major advantage when compared to other business intelligence tools. Tableau was, quite different in this area. So same way, this is what actually an in-memory concept here, and performance-wise, it is faster. Why it is faster? And, it is already proved. In Tableau, what happens here is we have separate connectors while connecting from the application server to the databases. Like if it is an SQL, I have a SQL server. If it is an cube data, I have an MDX connector. If it is a warehouse, I have a separate fast data engine connectors. I have separate connectors, whereas other tools, will have only one common connector, but they are all separate connector as per the sources. It already proved 10 times faster than the other business intelligence tools. So performance wise, it is faster, and same way user driven tool. So completely user can play with the data. So because we have an option, if you understand here, if user click on something, automatically with the help of VGL, it is going to hit the RAM and it is going to render data and images in the fraction of seconds. Everything can be calculated in the fly. But whereas here, each and every time it has to go and hit it and it has to get it back, so it may take a lot of time. So performance wise, user driven wise, it is more efficient, and finally cost effective. So how cost effective means, in a simple way, what we can tell is, let's say if I have 10 reports, I need to maintain 10 years. So the cost would be 1 lakh. Let us assume that is an example for any of the other business intelligence tools. So why? Because every year I need to renew the license. Every year I need to maintain support team. For that, the cost is $1 lakh. The same reports, 10 reports, if I go with better visualizations and with the better best of the best, so the cost would be less than 50% of that what I have invested. So if you see for 5 years or 10 years and spending money on other BI tools, and compared to that, Tableau cost would be less than 50% of what we invest in other tools. So this really, to the management, always finance wise, the same thing, the cost wise, it would be very
What
less.
is VA?
Visual analytics.
Okay. And can you elaborate on the cost aspect, like how much does a desktop license cost, or a server, or anything on that?
Yeah, sure. Let me complete it. I can explain you. Sure. Okay. Sure, I'll tell you. So cost of the, while coming to components, I'll also explain you that in the next slide. I'll also explain you that. Okay, so these are all the 4 areas, how Tableau is quite different with the other business intelligence tools. And you can also see that was in the Gartner view. Coming to the Tableau components. So how many components we have mainly? So we have mainly total 5 components of Tableau. Tableau Desktop, Tableau Server, Tableau Reader, Tableau Public, Tableau Online. So Tableau Desktop is a window-based tool. Tableau Desktop is mainly, it's a window-based, so which is mainly used for modeling and reporting purpose. So this Tableau Desktop is used for modeling and reporting. As a developer, our role would be more in the Tableau Desktop itself. So Tableau Server, it's a web-based application, so which is mainly used by the administrator as well as the end users to access the report, to share the reports. We use Tableau Server. Once after development was done in the Tableau Desktop, we'll be publishing that into the Tableau Server. So from here, users will access, and all the administrative activities also would be done in the Tableau Server. So coming to the Tableau Desktop, license is actually a 14 days license. And in the Tableau Desktop, again, we have 2 licenses. So one is personal and the other one is a professional. Tableau Personal is $999, and which will not support for to connect to databases, and we cannot publish it into the server. So limitations, we have a lot of limitations for Tableau Personal, and we also have Tableau Professional in the desktop. I'm talking in the desktop. Tableau Professional is $199. It supports everything. We can connect to any database. We can publish it into the server. So this is what the full license, like Tableau Professional. Tableau
what do you mean by
Desktop,
can connect to files and cannot connect to server?
I mean, that's what we can connect to only files here. We cannot connect to databases. If I go with the personal license, databases we cannot connect. Files means we cannot connect to Excel, CSV. So these kind of stuff we can connect with the personal, and we cannot also publish it to the server, Tableau server, because once if we publish that into the web, then end users can access it, but Tableau Professional will not support it. So professional, yes, this is what an enterprise level license where it supports everything. Like we can connect to a different databases, we can publish to the server and all stuff, the Tableau desktop. So same way, generally we go with always Tableau professional. Coming to the desktop, as a developer or architect, role would be more in the Tableau desktop professional. So Tableau server cost wise again, it is $1,000 per user. Tableau server is $1,000 per user, and minimum 10 users we need to purchase. Like we need to invest $10,000 to get a Tableau server for the first year, and for the second year onwards, maintenance would be only 200 per user wise, and desktop is 500 per user wise. 500 per user wise. If you see Tableau desktop professional, and server for user, it is 200 after every year. First year, it's 2000 here and 1000 over there. And from second year onwards, because we need to just renew it, so renewing cost is very less. So this is something about the components of Tableau desktop and server. And here you can see reader and public. We have other two components. They are completely free components. Like reader is like a desktop with limited options, and server is like a public. So we can publish our documents or the all related dashboards, everything into the public. So limited options again here. So these two are free components. What desktop and server do, the here reader and public will do. And online, if I have my entire data in the cloud, then I use Tableau Online. So this is also a licensed version. So 14 days free of the license, we can use it. After that, we need to have a license key to continue the 14 days. It's free trial version, trial period. Okay, so that is something about this. And if you see the Gartner review last 5 years, you can Google it and you can see it is 2015. So 16, 17, 14. Prior to that also, last 5 years, Tableau was standing in the first position. So ClickView, you can see now Microsoft was standing in the second position. ClickView was in third position. Latest 2017. Every February, Gartner will give a rating. It's not about the BA tools, even other tools also it give a rating. Coming to the business intelligence tools, you can see last 5 years Tableau was standing in the first position, so in the market. So now let me show you the tool so that you'll get an idea. As I said, Tableau desktop is a window based, right? So you can see it is available in the window, or you can just go to the start and also you can see Tableau is available here. So if I click on the Tableau desktop, yeah, so now you can see this is what Tableau desktop here. It is asking you want to, because it is just a reporting tool, so we need to connect to a data source to generate a report, right? So it is asking you want to connect to any of the files. These are all the files: text file, access, JSON, PDF, special file, and PDF also we can connect. From 10 version we got it up. So you can see different databases. If you click on the more, direct plugins, no need to create ODBC connectivity and other things. You can just click on it. It just the server name and username and password is more than enough to connect like this, like server name, service, and the port. It is optional, but if it asks, we need to give the also the username and password. We can directly connect to the database. Then again, we can select a schema that we can select tables and stuff. Now let us use the sample superstore. By default, it is actually a saved data source. Let us use this to get understand. I'm just using that as a list. So this is what Tableau desktop window, where we can generate the reporting. And this is window is called as a data window, the complete set. And this part is called as a work area. So let me just show you a simple thing. I have a continent and I have a sales something. If I drag that into the text, you can see the sales is available. If I ask you what is the third highest continent based on the sales means, obviously it may take some times to few seconds to understand. But if I change the visualization by just a click, easily now everyone can answer it. So data was same, the representation was different. So here we have a show me, I can represent my data in different ways. Like user also can play with the data in this way. He can interact. More features and facilities. Like if I want to encode each and every color, I can just drag and drop it into the color. I can also swap this, like now rows and columns are like this. If I swap it, it will be a vertical bar. And if I want to make it ascending, you can see it is what ascending. If I want to make it descending, yes. If I want to see values on top of the bar, click on it because it is a tool, right? So most of the facilities we'll be having. This is sheet 1. If you click again, you will get a new sheet. So all these sheets basically will be organizing in a dashboard. Let's say now I have a continent by sales. I want to see the difference between current value to the previous value. So simply just select the sales, go to the quick table calculation, click on the difference. Now you can see the difference. These are all negative values and these are all positive values. Left side are all negative, positive. The first one was a null value because for Africa I don't have a previous value. That is the reason it is a null value. So more facilities we have, we can do it in the Tableau level. So yeah, was this clear? You can ask me now your questions. I can help you out.
Hi Raj, this is Suresh here.
Yes, Suresh. Please
yeah,
go ahead.
Raj, like for how many days you'll get access to the server to the practice building reports and things like that?
Desktop will be provided a 1-year license. So up to 1 year you can have a Tableau professional key.
Okay. Not the personal one, right? We'll be having access to the
professional
as well.
Yes,
okay.
Professional desktop you'll have. And as a part of this course, I'll be covering up desktop, server, like which covers 3 different roles: developer, architect, and administrator. Administration, everything I'll do it except clustering, like installation, maintenance, and apart from that, because I need an distributed environment. So I'll be guiding on the data warehousing concepts because as a part of an interview, they might ask you questions on that. And I'll be guiding you on the resume preparation, like with roles and responsibilities to get set up, and project process and documentation, and FAQs and materials as well. So these sessions would be 5 days a week. Weekends will not be having session, and total number of hours would be 30 hours.
What is the project process and documentation part?
That is something related to, like, we'll have different projects, as you guys are aware of that: development, support, enhancement, and migration. So each and every phase, how it works. Development, like kickoff meeting to the go live, what would be a process? Like if it is a support, what type of tools we use, Remedy or other tools, and migration, how it works. So what would be our role? Because just giving you an idea so that you can plan, like, to go with what kind of project to put up in your resume.
Okay, and okay, I thought project by project, I mean once we are learning all the concepts, maybe sort of an exercise for us so that we practice on the fly. So is that also part of this course?
Correct. Every after first 3-4 sessions, I'll be giving you assignments, and I'll be asking you in the next day, or if not, I'll be discussing that. Yes. So as a part of this training, it would be completely a practical oriented session, not theoretical session. Only today, and maybe some other one, data warehousing concepts and resume. Like 3 sessions would be something theoretical. Everything completely practical oriented with different scenarios and examples.
So you'll also share like different data sets and case studies sort of, which we should work on as part of an assignment.
Correct. I'll not be sharing you different data sets, databases. So if you have, generally you can connect and do it with any of the sources. I go with the sample superstore and access database.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And if we miss any session due to busy schedule out here, so we can use the recordings if they are provided.
Yes. So recordings, they'll give you access. BigClasses will give you folder access, day-to-day recordings after the session, maybe half an hour. It will get placed in the folder. You can have access anytime.
Okay.
Up to 1 year.
And when does the actual session start? I mean, this is the first session we should consider, or this is just a demo?
No. This is just a demo, and we'll also have a technical demo. This is something, a theoretical stuff. We'll also have, a kind of technical stuff, what we discussed core on Tableau. So then the actual sessions will start. Maybe the next will be the first technical session. So Ashwini will get back to you on this with each, like the timings and.
Okay.
And sometimes if you miss any sessions, if you want to re-attend, we'll also provide you a provision. Continuously I'll be taking 2 batches, like 7:30 to 8:30. One batch is going on CST time. So 8:30, 9:30. This would be the. If you want, you can also re-attend the same topic. And materials also will be provided with the clearly screenshots, which was around 500 pages. So it's a kind
by
of
material you mean the decks or like a documentation, or it's like a PPT, or what is it?
No, it's a PDF document which has been written by me. So it was around 500 pages. I'll be sharing the material, FAQs.
Okay.
So, Raj, you also have the certification and things like that for the certification.
Yes, everything would be discussed. Like, sometimes I'll point out while discussing the certification questions, but I don't have the latest dump. If I have, I can help you out with the latest dump, like to get an idea on the questions and how it works and everything. Yeah. Maybe I think in Tableau community, they'll get posted regularly, the latest dumps.
There are 2 levels in the certification, is it?
Yes. Desktop level and professional, yes.
Okay.
So any technical questions, Paul, Max?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah. So Mitish, Suresh, you have any questions?
I guess I was in the Gartner, I think ClickView or ClickSense, the entire Click products, I think. Can you just pull up the Gartner? Maybe was it second or third in the market? So I'm just trying to understand, like Tableau has managed to stay at the top since 3-4 years or 5 years you mentioned.
Yeah, you can see here in Google. So the reason between why Tableau was standing when compared, even ClickView was also in memory tool. But if you see why Tableau this is the latest one report available now. So the main reason was if you take BA and VA, this is what the latest one. So the main reason why ClickView was in the second position is, now it was the third position. So BA was damn good. BI and VA, business intelligence plus visual analytics, both are good in the Tableau. But whereas coming to the ClickView, BI is good, but VA is not that good. So when compared to Tableau, on spot file, VA was good, but BA was not up to the mark when compared to Tableau and ClickView. So even though they are all in-memory tools, Tableau was damn good in both the areas. So that's the reason it was standing in the first position. So last 5 years, you can see, if you Google it, you can get it. They also given clear justification. So 5 reasons, 5 years a leader, 5 reasons why. Because it's a big organization, I cannot make this. The other organizations, like you can see SAP, this Gartner company. So they have given clear justification why it was in the first position.
So when you tell BI and VA both are good, so what do you mean by that? Like, what is good? What BI and what VA? I mean, if you can just elaborate in little brief.
Yeah, BA means business intelligence. So business intelligence in the sense they have some set of standards. Like any tool, it should be able to connect to any of the databases or any source. If it is as per the standard, if it is a database or any source, we should be able to connect it. So same way, dashboarding, scorecarding, everything should we can able to do it at the level of business intelligence. If all these the standards, if it met, then it would be a BA. Let us say, for example, all the business intelligence tools are zero footprint, nothing but no need to install any software or plugin in the end user machine to access the reports directly. In the Internet Explorer, you can, if you are connected to the network, you can access and see the report. So that's an advantage. So in this way, we have a lot of points, and any tool, if it met that, then only it is a BA tool. So all these tools are business intelligence tools. So coming to the visual analytics, so analytics, like not forecasting mode. So if you take a few examples, YTD, MTDs. So for that, we cannot build it up at the report level, at the 2-dimensional. And coming to the reporting level, we have 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional. So I cannot calculate, a YTD at the normal report level, because it cannot go on year level. I can able to see, but the same way place, if I want to see quarter level, month level, it cannot at the two-dimensional reporting level. It cannot go and hit the database and get that level of data. So that's the reason we go with the cubes over there. But whereas coming to the these visual analytics, so the drill down and drill up data also can be calculated at the at the report level itself, because the entire data was available in memory, in the RAM. So that is the reason. So that is what comes under VA. So based on user click, automatically the visualization will get changed. So with the help of VGQL, it is going to hit and get the data and images, data and charts will be rendered both. So they are all features of visual analytics, whereas other tools don't have that facility.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of points we have in that way. So that way, Tableau was good in both the cases, as it is a BA as well as can render data and images. We can calculate YTDs, MTDs, everything at the fly, because the entire data is available in the RAM. So it is more comfortable to calculate at the report level itself. No need of cubes or other sources. Earlier, we used to build cubes because for each and every permutation and combination, it used to calculate and store the data. So we'll be connecting to that and getting data. No calculations will be done over there. But here we can calculate in the fly.
And from a job market perspective, how does it look like in Tableau, like in the US market? Is it like solely for Tableau developer, or I mean, it's like as a BI developer as a whole, there is some openings, or specific to Tableau there would be requirements?
70 to 80% would be specific to Tableau, but data sources might be vary. Some might have Tableau with SQL Server, Tableau with Hadoop, Tableau with Excel. Some maybe a little bit changes on the data source level. But 70 to 80% positions would be core Tableau, but there would be some positions like where they'll be looking for ETL as well as reporting, COG, and even Cognos to Tableau, business objects to Tableau, because there would be a lot of migrations are happening from not migration, the complete, the existing reports in the Cognos would be converted to the Tableau. So in that cases, they will be looking for specifically if Cognos versus Tableau, business objects versus Tableau. But most of the 70 to 80% of the jobs would be on the core Tableau itself. And some
okay. So would you be showing the Hadoop aspect to us or no?
No. It is a simple thing like activity. I'll show you some sources.
Okay.
That's what like Tableau. We have a major advantage is if you see here, you can select any of the database here. Like Hadoop, we can connect to. You can see here somewhere Hadoop. Yeah, map or Hadoop Hive, and just the server name and the username passwords. That's it is required to connect it. So you can see Cloudera Hadoop also somewhere is available. So direct plugins we have. See here Cloudera Hadoop also we have. Mapper Hadoop.
So we would be using SQL Server for this course, or
MS Access we'll use, and we'll use the existing.
Okay, now data source. Exactly, existing data sources. Okay.
Yeah. I'll show you how to connect. It's very simple thing, like nothing much more complex. So anyhow, we'll work with one technical topic. So that session, let us concentrate on the working with connections topic, the basic naming conventions, and let us concentrate more on the connections session, the first technical session. So you'll get an understanding about the trainings and how everything goes on. So you can be more confident in making a decision there. Ashwini will get back to you on the next technical session. So yeah, any other questions you have? So well guys, thanks for your time. So let us connect for another session and discuss detailedly on the naming conventions and a technical topic. Okay, so Ashwini will get back to you on the timings and stuff. Let us connect up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys.
Bye.